Well, hello and welcome back to All My Art and Soul with Michelle Holden. I'm the artist behind the channel, and don't forget to subscribe and like. This week we have a nice, short, easy video because I've been wanting to share how I make my collage papers, and it's very easy, it's quick. Some people like to do the repetitive circles or marks. I do sort of, and I am getting used to my jelly plate printer, but I'm not a jelly plate printer specialist like some other amazing channels. So these are the colors, and that little black thing is some kind of packing item, which I ended up not really using in this video. So stay tuned for next week's video where I am going to use these collage papers and make a few different art journaling pages. Intuitive abstract art journaling. That's what I'm calling my process. And as you can see, I've selected just a bunch of larger stencils and smaller stencils, some bought from Amazon and Stencil Girl. And and also Michael's Art Store, Curry's Art Store, which in our area is closed now, but we can order everything online. What I have in color is the multi-layered part of this title of this video is don't throw out. Now, of course, you have to throw, because I just was getting so much paper in my studio. It was crazy. So I had 3 different piles: a throw out pile, a keep pile, and needs more layers pile. And that's what we're working on today. We're working on contrast. And of course, it's amazing how even if you have 2, 3, or 4 layers, I don't find I need to change my collage papers if they have 4 layers. But if they're looking a little thin and they just need that mark, you see how that second layer just livened up that piece. And I don't know how I'm going to use it yet. Probably more in a monochromatic. And then this is how I get the grungy look. I'm building up more paint on a ghost print, and then I'll stay within reason, like I'll stay in the yellows or I'll stay in the blues. But sometimes I've even gone to a contrasting color, and which you'll see, so stay to the end of this very short video, and you'll see what happens. And of course, I learned through experience that that's what that part of the handle is, so you can lie it down and you don't get your table covered with paint from the brayer. So these are sort of like squares, and I'm thinking, well, why couldn't I use them in a different direction and slightly off the next layer and change the value? So this is from an old book in French, and I've been trying to expand my book purchases, and I'm finding amazing old books. This is my favorite vellum, which is from an old encyclopedia. That's the kind of paper they used to use. It is an original, whatever, vellum. And you see the grunginess? So the hexagon stencil over top of previous stencil and grunginess, and then using that contrasting color can really make it really interesting. Now I'm also sticking to, as you can see, the paint tubes lined up, that color scheme. So turquoise, the ochres with the yellow hansa, or the cadmium yellow deep, that's what that is, orange, and maybe a little red. And so it's red, yellow, and blue, but just earthier, and with black and white. So next week, so come on back next week, and I'm going to, until then, I want a different kind of black and white collage paper. Contrasting it, like making a difference with the stencils, which are sort of manufactured and hard-edged, contrasted with swooping lines or branching lines that you're just using with the paintbrush stick or some kind of mark making tool. So you're going from organic to non-organic or whatever, geometric. And so that's my plan. And when you see your papers all together like a family, and then it's amazing to start your actually exploring and playing part in your art journal once you've had fun. Now I know I've only made a few color. How do you explore color intuitively? Well, it's just during your creating process, you're not thinking. That's the whole thing about intuition. You're just using your instincts and what you've built in your schema of art making, layering, collaging knowledge. And that's why the only way you're going to build upon it is to actually do it. So, I can't wait until the holidays. I'm just sitting here and doing my voiceover. This is a short video because it's been a crazy week. I've got a new computer, so we just finished transferring it over. And it's been a rather hectic, but I thought, I'm getting lots of requests by viewers, subscribers, and thank you so much, everybody. And how do I make my collage papers? Well, this is just one way that I make my collage papers, and it's not going to stay this way because I want to expand. So notice that really warm white, adding a little bit of that, it's yellow oxide, not ochre, because every time I go to buy yellow ochre, it's just nothing on the shelf, and that's why I end up with yellow oxide. It's the next best thing. And I thought the cursive writing would contrast really nicely over this partially dark. Yeah, and I really love how that turned out. Now, I'm still going to add, I think, some white pen. And it's the Uniball gel pens that I use, and I keep saying I need to get a whole set, but I haven't been able to get out of where I live and my small town where I go to work as a full-time teacher doesn't have art materials like the ones in the other area that I go to. So, thinking of raw umber as a wonderful means of getting some grunginess, but I love, see the shadowiness of when the brayer spreads that paint? So I love solids as well, and I like solids on the this is just tissue paper, and it isn't even the artist tissue paper. I haven't even gotten that out yet. I've been so wrapped up in my wonderful deli paper and this paper, which the text, which goes into the background, and that is a Stencil Girl stencil with swooshing lines from the catalyst wedge with the teeth, the toothed catalyst wedge, and there is those various circles, sort of like bubbles. And then this will be a warm white, a neutral, I would call it. And I'm learning not to put so much paint on the jelly plate. It works so much better. Your edges are crisper, not that that's a big deal with my process. Maybe if you want more of a ghost print, you might want to put more on. Let me know what you do. And what is your favorite size jelly plate printer? I've not gotten smaller. I've not gotten larger. This is an 8x10. And look at that. You see when you have black marks, say cleaning brushes and using that newsprint paper to clean off and saving it for collage. And then you can take it to the jelly plate printer and add really cool translucent layers. And then even add pen marks or mark making, which are very repetitive. I think I'll show you what I have and what I use. there's the contrast. Controlled and uncontrolled. So, so if you're new here, welcome. I'm so excited about having some Christmas holidays and getting really into a whole new phase of intuitive abstract art journaling with you. Okay, and sometimes there's nothing much left on your ghost print, so you might even want to save, oh, very grungy, very cool, a whole stack of grungy papers just to use on your ghost prints to lift them. And who knows what'll happen with all this contrasting shapes that you might end up with. But since they're very faint, it'll be really super cool. And that's what I do. I always go past the edge, and with my brayer, I push the jelly plate and send it flying. So I'm trying not to do that during this recording. Please bear with me. Yes, so I thought, okay, a contrasting line with those random circles of different sizes. So, okay. So I was just, yeah, it's an old drawing. I don't know who did that. Who knows? And that didn't really do much. So that's going to stay in the pile of need some more layers. So this is a video also how to organize your ongoing collage papers. So I sped this up, and I'm using my gold Uniball. I also have silver and I have white. I need more. I just love them. I didn't want to interfere with it too much, but I thought, ooh, some just random black dots with the Posca marker would be really cool. And that's a pretty big one. I know there's more, and I know there's endless amounts of art supplies that you can purchase, but always, if you're exploring and starting out, please use what you have on hand. It is the best way. All right. So yes, gold circles, and you can put those in many different ways on your collage paper. And notice I thought, okay, I can't stand that anymore. I need to change. Repetition is, in this kind of repetition, sort of drives me nuts. And I saw this with another artist, art journaler. On one piece, they use different marks, because if you're working small, you don't need a big giant, well, it's not giant, but if you're working tiny, you can have a selection. And it's the energy that these shapes, lines, patterns create. So that's my whole process. A different energy is feeling, and that's what I'm doing. And so now I'm just showing you what I've created today, which was about a half an hour. So sped up on our video editing. This is what we have. So those are going to go into needs more layers pile. These I'm happy with. And so too strong, too whatever, I don't know. So, and I'm going to arrange them in neutral. They're going to go with these because the colors are so similar. That's palette paper, and I will get more into more collage. So I hope you enjoyed this little ditty of a video to help you create intuitive, abstract, multi-layered collage papers. And here they are close up. And I hope you have a wonderful creative day in your studio and enjoy. And just start exploring with marks that speak to you with your collage papers. And I will see you in the next video.